Okay, so the topic for today is trigono. Now, basically, trigonometry is related to right angle triangles only. Say, whenever you're talking about trigonometry, basically, you're talking about right angle triangles. So, in right angle triangles, yeah. So, if you have a right angle triangle, that means you are having 190 degrees, and there is another angle which is known as theta. So, the side opposite to theta is known as your perpendicular or opposite. So yeah, so it's either perpendicular or opposite. The side which is corresponding to right angle triangle is your hypotenuse, and the last is the base. This is known as base or adjacent, right? So now, in case if you have a another right angle triangle, and this is your hypotenuse is always remain the same. And in case this is theta now, so the side which is opposite to theta. Now, in this case, this is opposite or as well as your perpendicular. And now this side becomes the base or adjacent, right? Now, there are three identities that everyone should remember. One is sine theta, second is cos theta, and the third is tan theta. So, how many of you know what is sine theta, what is cos theta, and what is tan theta? Huh?
Sine is the ratio of opposite and over adjacent.
Hypotenuse.
Exactly. Now, that is
Yeah,
opposite over hypotenuse or perpendicular hypotenuse. Cos is the ratio of adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan is the ratio of opposite over adjacent. So like
adjacent.
opposite over adjacent, right? And as well, tan can be also written as sine theta over cos theta. So yeah, so this is also sine theta divided by cos theta. So these are the basic fundamental identities that everyone should remember. What is sine, cos, and tan? Now let's talk about what about sine 90 minus theta equivalent to. Now sine 90 minus theta is equivalent to cos theta, and then you have got cos cos 90 minus theta is equivalent to sine theta, and then there's another identity which says tan 90 minus theta is equivalent to 1 over tan theta. Now, basically, the calculation that we are doing currently is in terms of degrees. That's why I'm representing it with theta. But in case if this angle would be in radians, so you should remember this thing. The conversion factor of radians to degrees is pi is equivalent to 180 degrees. So I can just simply write this that sine pi by 2 minus x is equivalent to cos x. This cos can be represented by pi by 2 minus x is equivalent to sine x, and then this is like 10 pi by 2 minus x can be represented by 1 over 10x. So you should remember this thing that pi is equivalent to 180 degrees. So this is the conversion factor of pi into degrees, the radian into degrees. Any confusion till now? Anshi
No,
and
sir.
Hassan? No.
Yes, sir.
Now, another identity, which is sine square theta plus cos square theta is equivalent to what? Will somebody tell me? Sine square theta plus cos square theta is equivalent to?
1.
Yeah, that's one. Okay. Now, the second thing, as the calculator is now allowed to be used in the entire set, so you don't need to remember what is sine 30, 45, 60, 90. You can just simply plug in that values in your calculator and find out your answer. But you must know what are quadrants and how much degrees does each quadrant represents. So basically, this is your first quadrant. This is your first quadrant. This is the second quadrant. This is the third quadrant, and there is your fourth quadrant. Now, remember that each quadrant is of 90 degrees. The first is from 0 to 90. Then second starts from 90 and goes on till 180. And this is from 180 and goes on till 270. And that is from 270 and it goes on till 360 degrees, right? Now, the most important part, we should remember that in the first quadrant, this is A, S, T. So you can memorize this ASTC with any specific order that you want to do it. You can just simply say this is CAST cast. So what does this A represent? And this A represents all positive. So basically in the first quadrant from 0 to 90, all sine, cos, and tan will give you a positive answer. So all of them are positive. But if the angle range is between 90 to 180, in that case only sine is positive. In third quadrant, only tan is positive, and in the last one, you have got only cos positive. Okay? So you just need to remember this ASTC, all sine, tan, and cos. Right? Now, I have got a question for you. There's a right angle triangle, a simple right angle triangle. Say, this is a triangle which is A, B, and C. This says that sine B is equivalent to 0.8, right? Now, can you tell me what is the value of cos B? Now, this is an example question, which is actually a set question. Okay, the value of sine B is provided to you, and they are asking you what is the value for cos B. So can somebody tell me what is the value for cos B?
0.6.
Yeah, that's 0.6. So how do you solve it?
So last identity sine square plus cos square equals 1.
You can use the same identity, which says sine square plus cos square is equals to 1. So you can just simply square this 0.8 square and then subtract it from 1, whatever is the answer, take the square root, and we will end up with cos b. Otherwise, you can also write it as this 0.8 can be represented as 4 upon 5, right? Now I know what is sine b represents. Sine B is opposite over hypotenuse, right? So if this is B, that means opposite is 4 and the hypotenuse is 5. So we have studied geometry, and in geometry we have figured out there's two golden ratios of triangle. One is 3, 4, 5, and the second one 5, 12, 13. Anshi, have you also done geometry? The
Yeah,
topic
sir.
of So in that topic we have learned this concept which is 3, 4, 5. So by that I can figure out the hypotenuse is
Yeah.
5, base is the height would be eventually 3, or you can use Pythagoras theorem to find out the third side. So now I need to find out what is cos b. So cos is adjacent, which is simply 3 over hypotenuse. 3 upon 5 is 0.6 is your answer. That's it. So this is how you can simply use the Pythagoras theorem or the golden ratio to find out your answer. Okay, Ji. So let me just share you the topic of trigonometry. Trigonometry is based on zeroing. Asha, did I taught you the concept of similar triangle on the topic of triangle?
Similar
Huh?
triangles?
Yeah, similar triangles.
सर
Like
याद नहीं है
similar
मुझे.
triangles have same ratio of sides. If the one side is being enlarged by the factor of 3, so all the other side will also be enlarged by the factor of 3. बताया था ये?
सर आता है मुझे.
आता है. चलो, let's see. क्या इससे करते हैं? This chapter number is 23. Okay, so I have shared you the topic of trigonometry, and I want you to attempt these questions. And these questions can be done on the basis of these 7 identities. These are basic questions of trigonometry they ask you in the set. So you need to know the 7 identities, the concept of quadrants, so which quadrant will be having a positive, negative sign, cos, or tan, and the concept of similar triangles. As you are now familiar with all these concepts, so you can start attempting the question. Try to solve all these questions. There are approximately like exactly 12 questions. Attempt these 12 questions. If you are unable to solve any of them, just leave it. And after the treatment, after almost 15 minutes, we will be discussing all these questions. All right? Chalo.
Yes.
So solving them. And once you are done, just text me on WhatsApp that I'm done so that I just get to know that you are done. Okay?
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Hello. How many questions have you attempted?
सर सारे हो गए.
Nice. What about Anshi?
Yeah, sir, done.
Done. So let me just open the PDF and discuss the answers of it. So tell me one thing, are you guys have college these days? Hasan,
Yes, sir.
do you have your college these days?
नहीं अभी नहीं है सर. It will start
When
after my set.
after your set, that's great. Uh, Anshi, what about you? I think you have completed your education, no?
What, sir?
Like, do you have your college?
No.
You are done with the college, right?
Like it starts from September.
Okay, it will start from September. This is okay. So can you guys see my screen?
जी सर.
Okay, G. Um, Now tell me what is the answer for question number one.
A.
One is A. Correct. So, and then it will field again. So the answer for question one is A. And then what about question number two?
Point 8.
It was
Yeah.
0.8. What about three?
D.
D.
Yeah, is D doctor. And then question number four.
36.
36.
Question number four is 25.
Mm. A.
So the question is in a right triangle ABC, the major of angle C is 90, all right. So AB is now there's gonna be like some of this. This angle is C, and therefore it has to be A, and this is CB. So AB is 30, and cos A is 5 is to 6, right? So cos A, that means this is A. Cos means adjacent, this is 5, and this is gonna be 6. So this is being multiplied by the factor of 5, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna multiply the other side, which is adjacent to the same factor. So 6 fives are, so 5 fives are, which has to be 25. So what is the length of AC? That is simply 25. If I remember one thing, sine cos 10 is the ratio of adjacent over hypotenuse. Now the ratio is a simplified form of fraction. So the reduced form of fraction of cos A was 5 over 6. But actually it has mentioned that the hypotenuse is 30. So you need to make a relation with 30 is to 6. So that is being multiplied by the factor of 5. So you will simply multiply the other ratio with the same factor. So adjacent was 5, so 5 fives are 25. 25 is the perpendicular or the height of the triangle, which is the length of AC, and that is 25. Understood why the answer is 25?
G, sir.
Okay, so good. Now what about question number 5? Question number 5.
C.
That was C. Hassan, did you also get the answer which is C?
नहीं सर मेरा डी आया था.
तुम्हारा D आया था. क्यों भाई? Let's see. That is again 10x is equals to m, right? Now this is the type of question in which you cannot use calculator. Now assuming that this is x and 10x is adjacent. Acha, 10x is equals to m. That means the denominator is 1. So 10 is opposite over adjacent. This is going to be m over 1. Now, first of all, you need to find out the hypotenuse to find out the value of sine x. So hypotenuse is would be equivalent to m square plus 1 square to the under root, right? So that is actually equivalent to under root m square plus 1. ऐसा ही है. Now that is the hypotenuse of your triangle. So I need to find out the value of sine x. Sine is opposite. Sine x is opposite, which is m over hypotenuse, which was under root m square plus 1. Therefore, the answer is C.
जी सर.
Okay. Now, let's move on to question number 6. What is the answer of question number 6?
6/5.
6.5?
6 divided by 5.
6 divided by 5. Well, 6 divided by 5 is 1.2, but the correct answer is 1.4. That is 7 divided by 5. This is the answer. Anshi, what answer did you get for question number 6?
7/5.
Yeah, that's correct. 7 by 5 is 1.4. हसन, क्या गलती करी तुमने?
सर वो मैंने क्वेश्चन नहीं सही से पढ़ा था.
क्वेश्चन सही से नहीं पढ़ा था. This is 10b, right? 10 means opposite, that is 4 over hypotenuse. So this is gonna be like 4 over 3 equivalent to opposite over hypotenuse, which is opposite over adjacent. Adjacent is 5. So according to the given ratio, which is 4 is to 3, that is going to be equivalent to 20 over 3. So opposite बनता है आपका, let me just write it with a different color. So this has to be equivalent to 20 upon 3. So ये 20 upon 3 है, and this is 5. Now you can use the calculator to find out the hypotenuse. Okay, whatever is your hypotenuse, once you figure it out, then you can calculate the separate values of sine v plus cos v, and then you will find your answer.
जी सर.
ठीक है, तो हमेशा जब भी रेशो गिवन है ना, तो आप उस रेशो से रिलेशनशिप बनाओगे. If this is equivalent to this, then the actual answer of the height, the base of the perpendicular should be equivalent to this. Okay, तो ये होता है. Now, what about question number 7?
So is it 12?
क्या आंसर आया था?
12.
It is 12, correct. Moving forward to question number 8. Are you guys able to solve question number 8? And if you were able to solve, then what was the answer?
Sir 5/13.
5 by 13. What is the answer in terms of decimal? The actual answer in terms of decimal is 0.38. So calculator में बताओ 5 over 13 कितना होता है?
0.3846.
हाँ सही है. This is 5 over 13. Then. Anshi, were you able to get the same answer?
Yeah.
That's very good. Then we can move forward. Don't have any concern with that. What about question number 9?
एक मिनट.
I got 14 as the
Yeah,
value.
perfect. That is the correct answer. 14 is the actual answer. हसन, तुम्हारा आया?
तो मेरा गलत था क्योंकि मैंने सिली मिस्टेक की थी.
समझ आ गया?
जी सर.
नाइस. चलिए. Now, let's move on to question number 10. 10 में क्या आंसर है?
D.
B or D?
D.
Yeah, D, doctor. That is 15 over 17. And we are left with last two questions. Number 11.
D again.
What is about 11? 11 का क्या आंसर है?
D.
E.
Yeah, doctor. And the last one is 12.
इसका A है.
नहीं, A नहीं है.
Is it C?
Well, yeah, it's D. It says given that sine theta minus cos theta is equivalent to 0. So you need to remember one thing. When you can get sine theta minus cos theta is equivalent to 0, there are two conditions. Either sine and cos both have the positive sign. So as the negative will multiply with the positive sign will result to be a negative value. So you will end up finally the positive, then negative, the answer will be simply 0. Now this is the one of the condition, or the vice versa, both of them should be negative. So then you can get a 0. Can you guys give me a minute? I'm important here and we try and pass it as well. Okay, so wherever we were solving this question. So therefore, negative into negative would result to be a positive value, and then only you can get 0. So basically, can you guys hear me? आवाज आ रही है?
जी
Yeah,
सर.
sir.
Okay, nice. ठीक हो गया. So basically, the one thing you need to make sure that is sine and cos should have the same signs. Both of them should be positive, then only you can get 0, or both of them should be negative, then only you can get 0. So now, in case of quadrant, when in which quadrant you have the same values for sine and cos, is A, S, T, C. So in the first quadrant, both sine and cos have the same value, which is positive. And in the third quadrant, both of them have the same signs, which will be negative. So they will be having a range between 0 to 90 and from 180 to 270, right? So 0 to 90 is simply 0 to 90, है ना? हाँ, so that is pi is equivalent to 180. मैंने relation क्या बताया था? हाँ, so pi is equivalent to 180, perfect. So pi means 180 divided by 2 is 90, the first one, and then it would be from 180 to 270 in the third one. Therefore, the answer is 1 in, uh, it was simply 147. So, is question number 12 clear to each and every one of you?
जी सर।
Nice. अच्छा, अब मुझे एक बात बताओ हसन, अ, तुम्हारा कोर्स आई थिंक पूरा हो गया है, कोई टॉपिक है जो रह गया है? आउट ऑफ 1 till 27 हमने टॉपिक्स किए हैं, जिसमें हमने परसेंटेजेस कर लिया, तुमने पावर एंड रूट्स कर लिया है। मैं एक काम करता हूँ, मैं ना आपको इंडेक्स की पिक्चर भेज रहा हूँ, मुझे वो सारे टॉपिक्स जो हमने कर लिए हैं ना, और जो कोई अगर
जी
कोई रह गया है तो बता देना। द थिंग इज, हाँ, इनमें एक जो इंडेक्स है उसमें एक टॉपिक है जो आपको नहीं करना, दैट इज कौन सा कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर, विच इज चैप्टर नंबर 18। उसके अलावा सारे करने हैं। सो जस्ट सिंपली शेयरिंग विद द, क्योंकि फिर उसके हिसाब से तुम्हारा कोर्स कंप्लीट हो जाएगा। मैं आपको
जी सर।
फुल लेंथ टेस्ट दूंगा ताकि फिर हम वो डिस्कस करेंगे। ठीक है, तो असल मुझे जरा देख के बताओ।
जी सर मेरे
अभी
ख्याल से हो
कैसे,
गया सर।
स्टैटिस्टिक्स कर लिया था हमने,
जी सर किया था हमने स्टैटिस्टिक्स।
रीडिंग डेटा भी कर लिया था, सर्कल ट्रायंगल ट्रिग्नोमेट्री एंगल्स भी हो गया, एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यूज हो गया, सिंथेटिक डिवीजन, कॉर्डिक फंक्शन और फंक्शन भी हो गया था ना।
क्वाड्रेटिक फंक्शन।
हाँ मतलब ए एक्स स्क्वायर
जी
प्लस
सर।
बी एक्स प्लस सी, उसके बाद
जी हाँ
Yes.
लॉटेक्स फॉर्म में हो गया था। आई थिंक वो तो, हाँ, अंशी भी थी उसमें तो आई थिंक हसन तुम्हारा पूरा कोर्स कंप्लीट हो गया है। आज तुम्हारा लास्ट टॉपिक था जो था, वो भी खत्म हो गया ट्रिग्नोमेट्री का। सो अब मैं तुम्हें जो है ना फुल लेंथ टेस्ट शेयर कर रहा हूँ, 1 and 2, वो सॉल्व करो विद स्टॉप वॉच, और फिर मैं टेस्ट तुम्हारे साथ डिस्कस किया करूंगा।
जी सर।
ठीक है, सो तुम अभी कब दे रहे हो, 22 को ही दे रहे हो? रजिस्ट्रेशन वगैरह करा लिया?
जी सर करा लें।
गुड है। सो बस फिर मैं तुम्हें ना वो 6 के 6 टेस्ट शेयर कर रहा हूँ एक साथ। हर दफा जो है ना, मैं तुम्हारे साथ सेपरेट क्लास लूंगा जिसके अंदर हम दो दो टेस्ट जो है डिस्कस कर रहे होंगे।
जी सर ठीक है।
ठीक हो गया? गुड है। सो दैट्स इट, आज के लिए फिर इतना ही था। अंशी, वर यू एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस टॉपिक?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great then. So Anshi, I will be having a class with you on Saturday. No, Saturday नहीं, Sunday. On
Yeah.
Sunday. So we will be covering other topics. I think majority, like 60 to 70% of the course has been completed of your as well. Good.
Yeah.
See you on Sunday, Anshi. Allah Hafiz.
Allah
जी
Hafiz.
सर अल्लाह हाफिज।
Allah Hafiz.